Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us again. As we were talking here, I remember we talked about things beginning at home, right? And I remember Millie was talking about how some women say, when mothers say, you know, like we were talking about the conditioning of a child when they're growing up into an adult. You think you're doing a favor for your kids, you are actually messing them up. I feel like that part, we are messing it up a bit, like big time. Because if you say, when you're being beaten every day, verbally abused every day, physically abused every day, when kids see that and they grow up, they think it's normal, they think it's okay. When a girl child sees that, they think it's normal, they think it's okay. Yeah. So when they get hit, when they grow up, they're like, okay, fine, maybe ndakanganisa, maybe I'm wrong. Whereas I believe there is no good enough reason. Yeah. No good enough reason for someone to be beaten, for someone to be killed, for someone to be sexually abused, or for someone to be verbally or emotionally abused. I don't feel like there's a good enough reason for us to say that. So I feel like every time we are talking, because I remember I was also abused when I was a kid. So I remember when I think, you know, when you get beaten up every 2 days, by someone, you say, okay, this is my brother, they're supposed to protect me. Yeah? Every day. I remember when I said to my dad, there's a day when he hit me, then the woman next door came to pick me up. Right? So when she came to pick me up, she went to my dad. We went together, and then I said, Ndarowa futi. And my dad, I will never forget this. My dad said, Wanga Wamuitei. You know. So such questions, that's why I keep on saying, such questions, they make it seem as if there is a good enough reason for someone to be beaten. Exactly. For someone to be beaten. There's good enough reason for someone to be sexually abused. And there's something that I want us to tackle, rape culture. Rape culture. I want us to unpack that, and Mama, and this may be such issues, I'm sure they've come to you. Issues where this is now we're getting into relationships. Yeah? There are things we've normalized in relationships. Yeah. We have normalized them, but in actual fact, they're wrong. Yeah. So rape culture basically, I'll give an example for you to just get where the issue is coming from. Tadi will come to you, right? Where, let's say, a girl goes for a movie with a guy, right? Then you go back home probably for a nightcap where you just go and have some coffee, then you can go home. We know we do that. We go on dates, we go on whatnot, right? There are two scenarios, clubs and going on dates and whatnot. You go back home. As you're talking, then the other party asks for intercourse, right? You say no. They keep on asking. You say no. I remember we talked about this with my producer. Yeah? You keep on saying no, you keep on saying no. But then they give you an attitude. It's either an attitude, a negative reaction, they get angry or whatever, to the extent where you need to like, okay, fine, just for me to feel safe, or just for the atmosphere to go back to the way it was. Let me just give it to them.
To appease them.
Let me just give it to them to appease them, you know. So tell you I'm coming to you. Even in clubs, I want you to tackle another issue of clubs. We go to the club, like I myself, I love enjoying myself. I love myself so much. Anything that brings me happiness, I do it.
Yeah. Enjoyment.
So enjoyment, thank you. So we go to the clubs a lot. And when you get there, you get it. This happens all the time. Where there's a guy who comes and wants to dance with you and starts touching you inappropriately. So that they grab, you know, they grab your waist or they touch you inappropriately. You don't like it. You tell them, you know what, I don't like it. Can you please move to the side? Either they get angry, they insult you, call you names, or better yet, you get beaten up. So, Tadiwa, I wanted you to get to unpack on that. Kuti, to what extent have we normalized these situations here and the repercussions that what people are going through because of this?
It's quite a lot for
and Mama stood up. She was like, and for a split second, I was like, in French, yes, that word. And then I thought to myself, I have to also think quickly to say, you know what, age, whatever, generations, you know, all those issues. But then when she went on and she talked, but I'm saying, her with her beliefs and attitude and perspective means that she taught her children those beliefs. Bazukuru wabo probably are also socialized in that same manner. And you know, it's being awiti iji. Usadai murume, unafanga dai, unodai. Building the issues around rap culture. To saying we're normalizing rap culture. Usapeka jimi, usapeka mabamshot. Zamonorukwa, nzara zenyu, mameka penyu, you know, all those things. We're trying to shift the blame. You're a rapist. Period. Full stop. It's not Anga mini. No. You there's are a rapist.
Yeah, there's no
simple. Where danda we andiri as wages as bread me from my mother's womb or whatever. That is no
it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Rape culture is
so
and also it happens women also rape men, and let's not ignore that. You realize there's a whole lot of issues that are actually arising of having how kids, young kids, one of the ladies during the past permuta talked of a scenario where a 9-year-old girl was raping a 3-year-old boy. And it's a case, I think if I'm not mistaken, around Chibi area. And then you realize that these are issues that are happening. So looking at rap culture, how Bob was you asking around Quinda out on a date, the date rap, where you feel you need to appease this person who probably spent some money on some Glenfiddich or some Hennessy, and probably the only transport you could do in the corner of not in now we have curfews, so you can't be found walking around aimlessly by the police officers, right? Or else you'll be sued for loitering and all that. So rap culture has to be addressed with the conversation of also having men, which is something a call that I'd make to the producers. The next time, I would really love to have a male be part of the panel, to also have the male perspective, to work together. As we noted earlier on, is but if the other part is there, Mimi talked about it, saying how we need to have the two perspectives to find out the truth of what really happened. Because information might be distorted, situations might be altered. We have women who have claimed to be raped, but it's not rape.
That's true.
Motives.
Especially with, you know, how we're talking around consenting adults who are in a relationship or in a situationship, but at the same time, that doesn't disregard the fact that it actually happens. We have people who put drugs, pills, whatever, in drinks, and you know, you find yourself waking up in places you didn't know, having done things you don't remember.
Exactly.
So the question is, what can we do around rap culture? What should be done? I think I talked about the first thing. Let's have the male in the group, in the discussion, in the conversation.